Assalamu alaikum, dears, how are you? We the humans, we have to interact with many of the people. All the time we are, in contact with several people. Some of these people are quite ordinary. Neither they leave any good or bad impression upon our life, upon our minds. While another some of the people, they are quite pleasant in nature, and our interaction with these people remain quite pleasant and quite memorable one. It is enjoyable enough. Still there are certain other types of people, they are toxic enough, they are negative enough, unsportive, and our interaction with those people remains somewhat or sometimes quite an unpleasant one. Today we have made it a topic of our discussion about how to interact with these people, how to handle and manage these people. And prior to handling them, it is important to identify them, their identification on the one hand, and then of course the way to manage them. That is the topic of our discussion today. So let's begin. The first thing, that is how to identify them. What are the signs of these people, and what are the behavioral signs first of all? Once we talk about the signs of these people, so then there are behavioral signs, then there are verbal signs, and then there are emotional signs as well. There are certain red flags. So let's begin with the behavioral signs. So these behavioral signs are 8 in number. First of all, it is the manipulation or the gaslighting. They try to manipulate us. They try to do the gaslighting. What is this gaslighting? The gaslighting is that they try to make us believe that I myself, I am not a sensible enough person. My judgments are not good. That my memory is not good. My perception is not good. My cognitive abilities are not good. So it actually means that, disempowering us, making us a very weak person, making us a person who is totally devoid of the self-confidence. And once we are lacking our self-confidence up to that level, it actually means that we are at their mercy, and we will be most probably doing whatever they want us to do. So the first behavioral sign of these people is that they manipulation and gaslighting. It is the first behavioral sign of these people. The second is emotional blackmail. What is this emotional blackmail? They say us very frequently that since I am not important enough for you, so that is why you are not accepting my demand. Had you been giving enough importance to me, so then it would have been quite smooth that you would be meeting my demand. So the second behavioral sign, it is the emotional blackmail. The third is constant criticism and belittling. Constant criticism and belittling. They keep belittling us. They keep criticizing us constantly. And then fourthly, dishonesty and lying. They are dishonest enough. They keep lying quite frequently as well. So it is the dishonesty and it is the lying. Lying on the one hand, being dishonest on the other hand. The fifth behavioral sign of these people is self-centeredness and lack of empathy. Self-centeredness and lack of empathy. They are very selfish. They are very selfish, and they are really, they are very selfish on the one hand, and they are lacking the empathy on the other hand. They do not sympathize with us. They don't even sympathize with other people, but definitely they do not sympathize with us. They don't try to put themselves into our shoes so that they are better able to understand the kind of circumstances, the kind of thoughts and feelings I am experiencing at the moment. So that is the self-centeredness and the lack of empathy. The sixth is disrespecting boundaries. Disrespecting boundaries. They do not respect our boundaries at all. So there are boundaries. Everybody have certain boundaries. Everybody must have certain boundaries, that this is up to this extent I am available, and beyond that I am totally not available. Beyond this I am not going to tolerate. I am not going to bear at all. So that is, there are certain rules and regulations. Everybody have certain boundaries. So they are disrespectful of the boundaries. And the seventh behavioral sign of these people is gossiping and spreading rumor. Gossiping and spreading rumor. They gossip and they keep gossiping about us, and they keep spreading the rumors about us. So that is gossiping and spreading rumors. The eighth is passive aggressive behavior. Passive aggressive behavior. They are aggressive towards us, and they are passive aggressive towards us. Mean apparently it is not very open, not very obvious that they are aggressive, but actually they are passive aggressive towards us. So these are the 8 behavioral signs of those people who are toxic enough, and we must be avoiding those people. Now, after enlisting the behavioral signs, we are going to talk about the verbal signs. So there are certain verbal signs. These are 5 in number. First of all, condescending tone. Condescending tone. They talk to us like they are superior than us, like they are our boss, like they are ordering us, and we, although they are showing somewhat sympathy, but actually they want to tell, I am superior, I am your boss, you have to obey me if you want to, keep yourself okay. So that is condescending behavior. Say superiority, showing superiority. The second is sarcastic comments, mean they are ridiculing us, sarcastically commenting upon us. The third is a blame shifting. They are shifting our blame. They are shifting the blame which goes to them upon us, and they are shifting the blame which goes to any other individual. Still they are shifting toward us. So that is the third verbal sign, is the blame shifting. The fourth verbal sign, it is the minimizing others' feeling, minimizing my feeling, minimizing the feelings of other people. So that is minimizing others' feeling. The fifth is using guilt trips. Using guilt trips. They are trying to create the guilt inside us. They are trying to create the guilt inside us. That is very bad indeed. So why are they doing it? They make us that we should start feeling guilty on the one hand. So then only we will be lacking the self-confidence. Then only we will disempower ourselves, and in this way it will become easier for them to be more toxic, to be more manipulative towards us. So we spoke about the behavioral signs of these people. We talked about the emotional signs of these people. Now there are certain red flags. Now we talked about the behavioral signs of these people. We talked about the verbal signs of these people. Now there are certain emotional signs as well. So these are again 5 in number. Number one, they mood swing. Their mood keeps swinging so suddenly. They are okay. Now they become very angry. They are okay. Now they become very abusive. So that is the mood swing. The second is unpredictable anger. Suddenly they will burst into anger. Suddenly they will burst into anger. That is unpredictable anger. The third is emotional unavailability. Every time we need the support of somebody, emotional support of somebody, but they are not providing us with the positive comments, with the sympathy, with the emotional support at all. Now the fourth emotional sign of these people is they are lacking accountability, lack of accountability. They don't want to hold themselves accountable at all. They are seen holding us accountable, but they don't want to hold themselves accountable at all. The fifth is defensiveness. They are seen defending whatever wrong they have done. They are always very defensive towards that. So, dears, we talked about the behavioral signs of toxic people. We talked about the verbal signs of toxic manipulative people. We talked about emotional signs of these toxic and emotional manipulative people. Now there are certain red flags to be noticed. First of all, it is that they do have a history of toxic relationships. Number two, refusal to apologize or take responsibility. Refusal to apologize or refusal to take the responsibility. Number three, disregard for others' feelings and needs. Disregard for the feelings of others and disregard for the needs of others. That is somewhat inhuman. Now the fourth is inability to respect the boundaries. They don't respect the boundaries at all. The boundaries, it is highly important that our relationship should be respecting the boundaries. Now the fifth is unwillingness to communicate effectively. Unwillingness to communicate effectively. They are not willing to communicate us well. They are not willing to communicate us in a sensible manner. So that is, these are the 5 red flags. Now the last and the final stage is that how can I protect myself from these people? How can you or somebody protect ourselves from a toxic relationship? So there are 5 effective ways to do that. Each one of these is very important indeed. Number 1, set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries. Be firm and fight sensibly, politely, firmly, clearly to make your boundaries getting enforced somehow, not to allow the overstepping of the violation of the boundaries. Set clear boundaries, the rules and the regulations. This thing hurts me, this is unacceptable to me. And now the second is maintaining a distance. Create a distance, keep increasing, creating a distance, keep increasing the distance. Now the third is prioritizing self-care. My self-care is of paramount importance to me. I cannot afford to compromise upon my self-care. Self-care, to me, this is my number one priority. I cannot afford to ignore it. I cannot afford to put it on the back burner. I cannot prioritize the needs or the wants of another person. My self-care is my top priority. What are my self-care? I need to sleep for 7 to 8 hours every night, and preferably sleeping and awakening at the same time. Nobody have the right to disturb me by telephone calls, by any other way. Number 2, I need to exercise on a daily basis. Number 3, I need to provide myself with a proper nutrition. The food which is not a junk food, which is not a processed food, the simple food which is good for my health. I need to do the relaxation practices like mindfulness, like meditation. I must be respected. So these are, I need to take care of myself. The fourth is seeking support from trusted individuals. I am talking about how to protect myself, ourselves. Number one, setting clear boundaries. Number two, maintaining distance, creating and increasing the distance. Number three, prioritizing self-care. Number four, seeking support from a trusted individual. Seek the support from a trusted individual. The fifth and the last is consider ending the relationship if necessary. Consider ending the relationship if necessary. So now remember, your mental and emotional well-being is crucial. Remember, your mental and emotional well-being is crucial, and surround yourself with the positive, with the supportive people. So that is all for me today. Thank you very much.